Alright guys, welcome back, and in this one I'm gonna finally do the review of the watch I got from Lidl. So let's make a start. Alright, so let me quickly start off again by just swiping through the menus and explaining what some of the things are. So now the watch is off. To turn it back on, let's see if this actually works this time. I can do a twist off the wrist. That doesn't work, okay. It works sometimes. There we go, finally worked. Doesn't always work, to be honest. I prefer to actually touch the home button there. So let's let that go off again. Touch the home button, it comes on, goes on and off very nicely. Alright, now that it's back on, if I swipe down, I get to the brightness. So if I tap that brightness, it goes 75%, that's 100% brightness there. I'm going to leave it at 100 for now, just so it picks up better on camera. I'm going to swipe down one more time, and it gets to the temperature and all of that stuff, okay? The date, time, temperature. Useful if you're into that kind of thing, but let me go back to the home, the main section. On here, I've got calories burnt, kilometers walked or ran for the week, I believe. And this one is actually steps taken today, so I've taken 6,200 steps roughly. Alright, so it's gone off. I think it's like a 10-15 second timer. I'm going to swipe down and shows me my steps. This one shows me kilometers ran. I need to double check if this is per month or per week. I'm assuming it's per month. Alright, so there we go with the heart rate sensor. It's relatively accurate. I won't be able to give you a percentage of how accurate it is, but most of the time it picks up what I think my heart rate should be. If I'm in the gym, it does get really high. If I'm sitting down, it's like normally between 55 and 65, which is my normal heart rate, I guess. So pretty accurate. Probably not going to be the same accuracy as one of the more expensive watches. Again, this was £25 and you do get a 3-year warranty. I will keep stressing the price and the warranty. It doesn't have all features. Things don't work perfectly all the time, but again, it's £25. Alright, swipe down. This is the sleep mode, so I don't sleep with the watch on. I take it off, so that's probably why it says 0 here. It does measure how well and how long you sleep as well. And here you can set your reminders. Now I'm going to press that button to go back to home, and I'm going to start swiping left and right this time. So if I swipe to the right, it shows me my messages, my notifications actually. So this will be text and WhatsApp, I believe. If I swipe once more, it takes me back to the home screen. Now if I swipe and I go up and down from here, okay, nothing happens there. I think it's the other side. So if I swipe left now, yeah, I can go up and down from here. So I can go into these individual sections here. I'm not going to do that right now. I think the images are self-explanatory, but probably the ones that do need to be explained. That last one there, that's finding the phone. So I can make the phone vibrate if I just touch that. I can actually control the camera from here. So there's a camera feature inside the app that comes on the phone, so I can actually press that to take a photo when the camera app is open inside the SilverCrest app. Obviously we have alarms. This is okay, that same information we found earlier about the date, time and the weather. So if I go back to the home again and I swipe across, heart rate, so all the same stuff. This is just a longer way to get to stuff. I can actually control music playback from here as well. That's a really nice feature, I believe. So if something was playing on my phone, I could simply pause, skip and go back from here. Oh yeah, let's talk about navigation quickly. Okay, so let's look at the bad first. One of the things that this watch does badly is actually staying connected. It doesn't stay connected very well. It's always losing connection on Bluetooth, which is a bit strange. But even more strange, what happens is that when I'm connected to the watch on my phone, I'm using a Motorola G8 Plus now, but actually I have a Motorola G100. I'm going to do an unboxing of that for you guys as well. When I have the Bluetooth connected and my Wi-Fi connected, for some reason my Wi-Fi doesn't work. So I either have to disconnect from Wi-Fi, so turn my Wi-Fi on and off on the phone, or disconnect my Bluetooth and then my Wi-Fi works fine. And it only happens when I'm connected to this device. If I'm using my Bluetooth speakers with my phone, no issues. If I'm using my Bluetooth headphones, no issues, and even when I'm using my Bluetooth earpiece as well, no issues. So it's only when connected to this device. It's a bit weird, but that's what it is. Another thing I would probably say is that the sensors aren't the most accurate. Sometimes I do feel as if the steps aren't being recorded as accurately, because I do also have Google Fit on my phone, and I feel like that does a slightly better job at recording steps. However, it's not too far off. So for example, I've got 6,200 steps there, and on my phone, if I check it, I might have like 6,150. So I'm roughly 50 steps out depending on how much I do each day. Okay, so another thing about this watch is that it should have a twist awake feature, which doesn't seem to work all the time. As you guys saw, I tried to do it on my wrist earlier and it didn't work. I think it's very temperamental, so that's another downside there, I guess. If that's something that really matters to you, you need to consider that. Now, I do feel that some of these things that are not so great are actually very superficial. They're not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, because the watch works. And again, going back to the price, it's £25. So if it worked perfectly, I would be very surprised. The fact that it works most of the time, doing most of the things that I needed to do, it's a good sell to me. Alright, so now let's look at the positives. The first one I would say is very nice size screen. Let me turn that on. There we go. Very bright. It's at 100% brightness now, but even when it's normally at 50, which is what I keep it at, it's still very bright for me. When reading outside, there's no issue. I can see it very clearly at night. Another thing which I wasn't expecting to see on this actually was the fact that these straps are removable. So hopefully that focuses well enough. I can pull that and take this strap out, and I can pull that and take this strap out as well. I'm making the assumption that there are universal straps you can get for watches like this, which is really good. So I'm guessing you can change the colors, you can change the pattern on the band, you can change whatever you want if you can find something of the same size. One of the downsides of the previous watches I've used before is that the rigidity of the straps make it very uncomfortable, meaning once the watch stops, so this is a square watch, right? The others were more rectangular. Once the watch is stopped, there was a very hard, rigid section that went on into the strap. I'll try to do a comparison if I can find it, and that was very uncomfortable. Whereas this, the watch stops there and the straps are flexible all the way through, meaning whatever size your hand is, this should fit fine. Once the face fits on your hand comfortably, then everything else should be okay. Big benefit there. So I have a friend who has an exact copy of this watch. Their watch lasts about 4 days active use every day, wearing, counting steps, doing all the activities that they do. And I think that's a really good battery life for a watch that, again, was only £25. And you get 4 days battery life, and charging is so easy. It's not like the ones before where you had to physically pull the strap off to actually plug the USB cable in. I'm going to show you guys quickly how the charging works. Alright, so here I have the charging magnet, and this is the back of the watch. Now all you have to do is simply connect it like this. It's magnet, so it pulls itself together. You won't be able to put it on the wrong way because it obviously repels. Okay, so if I show you that again, if I put this on the wrong way, it actually repels. It doesn't stick, it doesn't go on there. But as soon as I have it lined up the right way, it snaps into place, and that's it. It starts charging. I would say it takes about an hour and a bit to charge, and again, that gives me 4 days worth of battery life, wearing it constantly. I don't sleep in mine, but that's the only thing I don't do in it. Everything else works perfectly fine. So is this a buy or a pass? For me, it was definitely a buy and keep. I had another friend who actually returned hers, but for me it was definitely a buy and keep. For such a good price, for something that does all it does, it's well worth the money. £25 is normally what you would spend, I don't know, on a couple drinks on a night out. So to have a fully fledged working smartwatch where when messages come through to your phone, it pops up here. If there's a phone call coming in, it pops up here. Notifications and reminders, they pop up here as well. Heart rate, running time, cycling time, steps per day. It has most of the features of a smartwatch stroke activity tracker that costs easily 3-4 times as much. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Now, if you're someone who wants really good quality and you want some heft in your smartwatch, this is probably not the best one for you. This is very light, but for me that was good because I don't really like wearing watches that much. So if something is very light on my arm, and because it has this this nice rubberized strap, it felt very comfortable. It was never hard or squeezing me at any one point, so it was very easy for me to wear all the time. So definitely a buy. Again, it's £25. You have a 3-year warranty. Anything happens to it within those 3 years, Lidl will give you either a partial refund or they'll find you a brand new product, or they'll give you a brand new product. So that was my mini review stroke overview. It's taken a while, but hopefully you guys liked it. Please ask any questions you want to ask below. I'll try and get back to you as quickly as I can. There is an app, however, it's the same app they have for all their other watches, so I didn't think there was a point in going over it. If you guys do have any questions about the app or about the watch specifically, as I said, drop the question below. Please do like, subscribe, share. I do have some more interesting stuff coming. It's just been a really busy period. But yeah, stay tuned. Thanks.